My biggest memory is just how young I was in experience. It was my first college season, my first college job, and I went there really just trying to pay attention, just learn as much as I could, and I gained so much from just being around Debbie and watching her train the team and lead them and prep them, and then of course as the season went on and the team just really started to believe in themselves. But you put a team together with Sarah and Holly, Lisa, Amanda, those four in particular, that team was so competitive. And we lost a match in a crossover about halfway through the season to North Alabama, and they got us pretty good. And from that point on, you could see the team just find another gear. We got another crack at them to get to the Elite Eight. And then once we got to Bakersfield, there was no stopping us. So it was a really cool introduction to college volleyball, and for my first job, that was unbelievable. You get to Canyon, and within 10 minutes, you already are hearing about the volleyball program and the history, and there's so many alum and former players that are still in the area. They're really supportive. The program is so good about recruiting and keeping local talent. I know that was the biggest strategy I had, was to just keep all the local players that we could. And they grow up knowing how to win, and they grow up wanting to be Lady Buffs. And then you get into the box and you see the fans and the crowd and the environment there. And it's just a really cool thing, and it's really unique. I was a D2 athlete myself, so I was experienced with what that was all about, but they take it to a whole new level, and it's really special. Laura is a great kid, great player. She came in with a really cool class with Natalie and Melissa and Katie. That group was really good. They're all over the record books. Laura in particular, she got a pretty cool introduction. She came in when Rachel Altman was a senior. She got a chance to train with her and learn some things, and then took over as a sophomore. And then by her junior year, she was an All-American. Played through a lot of injuries, tough as nails, big arm, and clearly the focal point of that offense. The box is one of a kind, and I don't know what it is. It's the crowd being right on top of the court. It's no air conditioning. It's Brad Stark and how he revs them up. There were so many matches when we would be looking at the other team during intros and we knew the match was over before we even started. It just one of a kind, unique environment, and they know how to play to their strengths. So, the wins were a byproduct of a lot of things, on top of the talent of the teams, but that environment alone was really tough to play through. Of course, it starts with Lauren and Drew and Dylan, my family, and the support that they've shown, and just the understanding of what it takes to be a coach and time away, and they just have always been right there with me. We've been through a lot together, and it means everything that we've been able to do that as a family. Of course, I want to thank Debbie Hendricks for hiring me and bringing me to WT, and for her leadership, her mentorship, and for her paving the way for me to take over when she left. Ed Harris was my first AD at WT. He hired me, believed in me. I had a ton of respect for Ed. I really respected his leadership. He was a great mentor, and that continued with Michael McBroom. Him and I are still good friends, and I just really appreciate the support he gave. The coaches that I work with, in particular, Kim Falkenhagen, Holly, Russell McElroy, and then Kendra. We had a great time together. It was never going to work. We were always there together, and we had a lot of success. It was a lot of fun. Some amazing boosters, Gary Hyatt, Lanny, the Stewarts, I could go on and on. Brad, just so many people that were attached to us and wanted to see us be successful and would do literally anything to make that happen. Their support for me was just second to none. I'd never forget it. And then, of course, the players. We had some incredible teams. So many players that are all over the record books and have the fans have attached to, and every time they come back, and they're so well received, and so many players that I'm still connected to today, and I really appreciate everything that they gave for us, and I feel like we went through this all together, and so it was a really special time.